Based on the Marvel comic book of the same name, this science fiction comedy film by director Willard Huyck was originally going to be animated, but a contractual obligation required it to be live action. Strike one. Although the $37 million LucasFilm production somehow broke even, the movie received overwhelmingly negative reviews upon its release in August of 1986. With the exception of a 15-chapter Captain America serial released in 1944, Howard the Duck has the notable distinction of being the first motion picture based on a Marvel comic. Let that sink in for a minute. The mega successful production studio that now figuratively prints money with a chain of endless hits got their start on the big screen with a talking duck. The 110-minute feature follows a sarcastic humanoid duck who is pulled from his homeworld to Cleveland, Ohio, where he teams up with a struggling musician to stop an evil alien intruder. The weird-looking duck suit that brings the character to life cost $2 million and was operated by 8 separate people over the course of the film. Ed Gale reportedly did the lion's share of the work, however, with Chip Zien providing the voice. We're introduced to this creature living a boring life as an advertising writer in a normal-looking room filled with duck-themed paraphernalia, like a Breeders of the Lost Stork movie poster, or a duck-sized condom in his wallet. There's nothing too creepy about that, right? Well, I've got 2 words for you. Duck tits. That's right, during this introductory sequence we catch a glimpse of a nude female duck in an adjacent apartment. Ugh. As a character, Howard is actually interesting, somewhat amusing, and at times even endearing. As a concept, however, he's so truly bizarre and out of place, it's impossible to take the rest of the production seriously.
Come here, snot-nose!
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck.
Huh?
Let the female creature go. Every duck's got his limit, and you scum have pushed me over the line.
Jimmy, do you like see what I see? A talking duck?
Yeah, that's it. I've been doing too much toot.
Featured as a love interest opposite is the always beautiful Leia Thompson, whose cheery attitude and skimpy outfits make this PG-rated adventure almost watchable. Keyword there, almost. Of her alien friend's cold personality, she remarks, "I bet you were born from a very hard-boiled egg, Ducky." A love scene where the two begin engaging in interspecies relations is particularly uncomfortable and should never have made it past the first draft. Strike 2. These more glaring issues notwithstanding, the film commits some rather basic mistakes as well, like revealing a humanity-saving weapon that's still behind a fence. It's supposed to be this important shot signifying the best hope to save Earth, but we don't know what the device is or even what it looks like, as a majority of the frame is obscured. Despite being a big-budget adventure, the movie's idea of action is showing people repeatedly fall out of boats and having cars drive through locked fences. Later, a sequence when Howard and scientist sidekick Tim Robbins attempt to flee police officers in a small fixed-wing aircraft becomes extremely repetitive as the flying duo are constantly dodging obstacles. Here's an idea: gain altitude and stay there! But it's the climax where things really get weird, when bad guy Jeffrey Jones as a possessed evil overlord begins shooting colorful lasers at everyone. Talking ducks is one thing, but glow-in-the-dark Sith Lords is on another level of bad writing. Strike 3. Objectively speaking, there are some redeeming qualities here, but the film never does enough to pull itself out of the depths of cinematic excrement. Marvel completionists and the truly brave may want to check this out, but seeing it once was one time too many for me. Howard the Duck is a peculiar mess of bad ideas. I thought it was garbage.